Picture for a moment an artist at work, standing before a grand canvas. At first glance, the strokes may appear chaotic, the colors clashing, the image unclear. If you judge the painting too soon, you might think it unfinished, even abandoned. But the artist does not stop. With each deliberate stroke, every shade and detail, the masterpiece begins to emerge. And so it is with your life. You may feel as though you are standing in the middle of a half-done work, the purpose of it all obscured. Yet, let me assure you, the creator of your story is not one to leave a work incomplete. When you face difficulties, it is tempting to believe the journey has gone astray, that the plan has somehow unraveled. But what if the very challenges you face are part of the design? The author of life does not waste anything. Even the chapters that seem filled with sorrow or confusion are being used to shape a greater story. He is a God who weaves together every thread, light and dark, joy and pain, into a tapestry far beyond what we can imagine. You may not see the whole picture now, but remember that you are still in the middle of the process. Do not mistake this moment for the conclusion. Trust that the one who began this work in you will not stop until it is brought to completion. Even now, in what feels like silence or delay, he is working with precision and care. The surprises he has planned for you are not random or hurried. They are carefully prepared, waiting for just the right time to unfold. The story of your life is not an accident, nor is it at the mercy of chance. Every step, every pause, every twist in the road is part of a purpose larger than you can yet grasp. Hold on to this truth: you are being crafted by the hands of one who never gives up, never grows weary, and never makes a mistake. When the time comes, the masterpiece will be revealed, and you will see that the trials were not a detour, but a part of the design. Until then, hold on. The story is not over, and the best is yet to come. There is something profound in the way life's trials shape us. Think of a block of marble in the hands of a sculptor. To the untrained eye, the chiseling away might seem harsh, unnecessary, even destructive. Yet, it is precisely these strikes, these cuts, that reveal the masterpiece hidden within. In the same way, your struggles are not meaningless. They are the chisels shaping you into something extraordinary. It's easy to believe that life is unfair when faced with hardship, but perhaps the struggle is not a punishment, it is a preparation. The strongest trees grow in the windiest climates, their roots driven deep into the soil to anchor them against the storms. Similarly, your trials are rooting you, building strength and resilience that you cannot yet comprehend. These challenges, far from being obstacles, are the tools through which you are being refined. Consider this: would a story of triumph mean anything if it were not preceded by moments of doubt and difficulty? A hero is not defined by their ease, but by their perseverance through adversity. Every great narrative requires tension, moments when it seems all is lost, before the ultimate victory unfolds. Your life, too, is such a story. The pain and challenges you face today are not the end, they are the necessary foundation for the triumphs that await. So, when you are tempted to despair, remind yourself that the struggle is part of the process. You are being prepared for something greater, molded into someone stronger. The difficulties are not detours, but steps on the path toward the fulfillment of a greater purpose. Hold on to hope, for the masterpiece being carved out of your life will one day astonish you. What feels like breaking now is actually becoming. Think of the seasons, how the earth cycles through times of growth, harvest, and rest. In winter, the world appears barren, lifeless even, yet beneath the frost-covered ground, seeds lie hidden, quietly preparing for their appointed time. What seems like delay is not inactivity, it is a season of preparation. In much the same way, your life may feel like it is on pause, as though your hopes and dreams have been buried beneath the weight of time and circumstance. But what if this waiting is not wasted? What if it is the necessary preparation for something far greater than you can imagine? Every great work takes time. The finest wine requires years to mature. The tallest buildings must have the deepest foundations. And so, too, the dreams placed within you are not forgotten, they are being refined, nurtured, and made ready. If they were given to you too soon, would you have the strength to sustain them? Would you be prepared to receive them fully? Often the waiting is not about the destination, it is about shaping you into the person who can embrace the blessings when they come. It is in the quiet seasons, the moments that feel empty, that the most profound growth takes place. A seed must remain buried in the dark before it breaks forth into the light. The caterpillar must endure the confines of the cocoon before it can take flight as a butterfly. And so, the delays you experience are not signs of denial, they are markers of a transformation taking place beneath the surface. Trust the process, even when you cannot see its end. What feels like a standstill is often the prelude to motion, the preparation for a sudden and beautiful unveiling. Do not lose hope in the waiting. The surprises that await you are not random, they are being prepared with care and intention. When the time comes, you will look back on the delays and realize they were not holding you back, they were carrying you forward towards something beyond your imagination. There is a deep and quiet truth that often escapes us in moments of despair. You are not unseen. In your darkest hour, when it feels as though the heavens are silent and the world has turned its back on you, there is one who watches over you with unwavering love and care. Every tear, every whispered prayer, and every ache of your heart is known. You may feel forgotten, but you are not. You may feel unheard, but you are heard. Imagine a child who wakes in the night, frightened and alone, crying out for a parent they cannot see in the darkness. The parent does not ignore the cry, even if they do not immediately rush into the room. They are present, listening, watching, waiting for the moment when their presence will bring the most comfort. So it is with you. When you cry out in your pain, your voice does not disappear into the void. It reaches the ears of one who cares more deeply than you can fathom. Perhaps you feel that because your circumstances have not changed, your prayers have gone unanswered. But answers do not always come in the way we expect. Sometimes, instead of removing the storm, He gives you the strength to endure it. Sometimes, instead of opening a door, He builds within you the patience to wait for a better one. His silence is not indifference, it is often the gentle whisper of not yet, as He prepares something far greater than you could imagine. Consider the stars in the night sky. They shine most brilliantly when the world is at its darkest. So it is with hope. In the moments when you feel most alone, when despair presses against your spirit, that is when you must remember that you are seen. You are cared for. Even when you cannot feel it, you are being held in the hands of one who has promised never to leave you. Do not give in to the lie that you are abandoned. Your cries have reached their destination, and the one who hears them is already at work on your behalf. Trust that He is closer than you think, even in the silence. Hold on to this truth: you are not forgotten, and the story is far from over. When the time comes, you will see that you were never alone, not even for a moment. How limited our vision truly is. We are like travelers on a winding path, only able to see the next few steps ahead, while the grand destination remains hidden just beyond the horizon. In our moments of struggle, we fix our eyes on the closed door before us, lamenting its refusal to open, all the while unaware of the windows quietly being unlocked around us. What you see is not all there is. There is a greater work unfolding, far beyond your current understanding. Think for a moment of the night sky. To the unaided eye, it appears as a scattering of stars, distant and random. Yet, with the right lens, you begin to see constellations, galaxies, entire systems in perfect order, each moving according to a divine design. Your life is much the same. The difficulties you face, the moments of waiting, and the unanswered questions may seem fragmented and senseless now, but they are part of a far larger picture, a picture you cannot yet fully see. How often do we judge our lives by the circumstances immediately before us? We see only the closed door, the dry ground, the absence of the outcome we long for. But consider this: a gardener does not despair when the soil appears barren after planting. They know that life is stirring beneath the surface, invisible to the eye but no less real. So too, the things you hope for may be hidden from view, but that does not mean they are not growing. Just because you cannot see the work does not mean it is not happening. Trust that there is more happening in your life than you can perceive. The closed doors are not denials, they are redirections. The dry seasons are not punishments, they are preparations. What feels like an end may actually be the beginning of something greater. You do not yet see the full tapestry of your story, but the threads are being woven together with care and precision. Do not limit your hope to what your eyes can see. Instead, trust in the unseen, in the possibilities that stretch far beyond your current understanding. The surprises awaiting you are not small or accidental, they are deliberate and magnificent. When they come, you will look back and realize that the closed doors were blessings, the waiting was essential, and the things you could not see were the very things shaping your destiny. Silence is often the most difficult thing to endure. When the world around you feels quiet, when the heavens themselves seem unresponsive, it is easy to conclude that you have been forgotten, that nothing is happening, that your prayers and efforts are in vain. But silence is not the same as absence. In fact, some of the most profound works are carried out in the quiet. Think of a seed planted in the earth. It lies hidden, buried in darkness, and for a time nothing appears to be happening. There is no sound, no movement, no sign of life above the soil. But within that seed, in the silence, something miraculous is taking place. Roots begin to push downward, unseen and unnoticed. Soon, a sprout will emerge, breaking through the surface into the light. So it is with the work being done in your life. You may not see it, you may not hear it, but it is happening. Silence often invites us to grow in trust. When answers do not come immediately, we are challenged to believe that they are on their way, even when we cannot perceive them. The silence is not a punishment, it is an opportunity. It is the space in which we learn to wait with hope, to lean not on our own understanding, but on the certainty that something greater is unfolding. Consider the night before dawn. It is at its darkest just before the first light appears. In those moments, it may feel as though the sun will never rise, that the stillness of the night will stretch on forever. But the dawn always comes, not a moment too soon or too late. So it is with the answers you seek, the blessings you hope for. They are not delayed out of indifference, but timed with precision, arriving exactly when they are meant to. Do not despair in the silence. It is not the end of the story, it is the space where miracles take root. Trust that even when you cannot hear or see the work being done, it is happening. And when the silence finally breaks, you will find that it was not empty but filled with the quiet preparation for something extraordinary. What feels like waiting is often the unseen hand of purpose moving in ways beyond your understanding. Hold on, for the silence will not last forever, and the surprise waiting at the end will make the quiet worth enduring. There is a kind of joy that comes unbidden, a delight so unexpected that it leaves you breathless. This is the joy of being surprised by a gift you could never have anticipated. It is the joy of realizing that the story you thought was over has just taken a turn far more beautiful than you imagined. And this is precisely how the Creator of all things loves to work with surprises that far exceed your hopes, arriving at the moment when you need them most. Think of a child at Christmas, unaware of the treasures hidden beneath the tree. The child may have hoped for something small, perhaps a simple token of love, Yet when the moment arrives, the gift is far greater than expected. So it is with you. The blessings that await you are not meager, they are abundant, designed with care and delivered with perfect timing. They are prepared for you by a love that delights in exceeding every expectation. The beauty of these surprises is that they often come when we least expect them. In the moments when hope has grown faint and the road ahead feels barren, that is when the most extraordinary gifts can appear. Perhaps it is because these moments humble us, quieting our hearts and making us more open to receiving what we could not have planned for ourselves. They remind us that we are not the authors of our stories, but the recipients of a grace that knows no limits. Do not underestimate what is being prepared for you. Just as a gardener waits patiently for the perfect season to bring forth the harvest, so too is your life being tended with care. The surprises that await you are not random, they are deliberate, woven into the fabric of your journey by a hand that knows every detail of your heart. What you long for, and even what you have not yet dared to dream of, is being prepared with exquisite precision. Hold fast to hope, even when the road seems long. The gifts that are coming will not only meet your needs but overflow with joy and wonder. And when they arrive, you will see that they were worth every moment of waiting, every prayer whispered in faith, every step taken in trust. The surprises that await you are not merely blessings, they are reminders that you are deeply loved by the one who delights in giving abundantly, extravagantly, and always at just the right time. The journey of hope is not always a smooth, steady ascent. In fact, it is often more like a climb up a rugged mountain, where the path is steep, the air thin, and the summit elusive. But it is in these very moments, when everything within us wants to give up, that hope becomes not just an ideal, but a choice. And this is where faith, true and enduring, is forged. It is the choice to continue when everything seems uncertain, to believe that something greater is on the horizon, even when you cannot yet see it. When you feel as though you are trudging through the darkness, unable to discern your next step, remember that it is not the destination that defines your journey, but your willingness to keep moving forward. The waiting, the uncertainty, the feeling of being stuck, these are not signs that you are failing. They are the moments in which your character is being shaped, your strength is being tested, and your endurance is being built. Think of the great athletes, the artists, the leaders. None of them reached their greatest heights by avoiding struggle. They faced hardships, endured setbacks, and yet each time they stumbled, they got back up and continued. It was in these moments of persistence that they learned what they were truly capable of. So too must you press on in the face of doubt. The trials you face now are not indications that your dreams are impossible, but that they are worth the effort, worth the waiting. And with each step you are being made ready for the fulfillment of those dreams. What you are enduring today is not punishment, nor is it an indication of failure. It is preparation. You may not yet understand why things are taking longer than you hoped, but trust that it is part of a larger plan, a plan that is unfolding with perfect timing. When the moment finally arrives, when the dream is realized, you will look back and see that the waiting was not wasted. Every tear, every prayer, every silent moment of trusting was not a detour, but a necessary part of the journey that led you to something greater. Hold on, then, with both hope and perseverance. The best things in life are never rushed, and the surprises that await you are not only worth the wait, they are often far greater than you could have imagined. And it is your willingness to continue despite the odds that makes you ready to receive them. There is a divine beauty in the way broken things are restored. In our world, we often see brokenness as the end, the irreparable, the unfixable. Yet, in the hands of the Creator, brokenness becomes a foundation for something even more magnificent than before. The finest masterpieces, whether in art or in life, often emerge from a place of brokenness and pain. It is in these very places of seeming destruction that true beauty is birthed. Think of the phoenix that rises from the ashes, its wings spread wide, vibrant and full of life. The ashes are not the end, but the very beginning of something new, something more powerful than what was before. In the same way, the brokenness you feel today is not the final chapter, it is the beginning of a transformation. Every scar, every painful experience, is part of the process by which you are being made whole in ways you cannot yet understand. The cracks in your life are not signs of weakness, but of strength being formed. The storms you have weathered have tested you, shaped you, and prepared you for a beauty that only comes after the trial. Just as a pearl is formed in the shell through the irritation of a grain of sand, so too are you being shaped through the irritations, the challenges, and the disappointments that life has brought your way. These are not pointless struggles, they are the very things that make you capable of carrying something greater. Do not look at your past, your pain, or your brokenness as something to be ashamed of. Instead, look at them as the very means by which you are being prepared to receive the fullness of your life's purpose. You are being refined like gold in the fire, purified and made ready for something more beautiful than you could have imagined. The broken pieces will come together in a way that will surprise you, forming a picture more brilliant and full of grace than you could ever have dreamed. When the time comes for the transformation to be fully revealed, you will see that the very things that seem to shatter you were the things that, in the end, shaped you. The beauty that is coming from your brokenness will not only be a testament to your resilience, but to the one who is constantly at work, redeeming and restoring all things. Hold on, for the masterpiece is being created even now, and it will be more magnificent than you ever thought possible. There is a timeless truth that often gets lost amid the noise of our worries. You are part of a story far greater than your own. It's easy to think of our lives as isolated, as if each moment and decision is a small, self-contained event, with no connection to the grander narrative of existence. But in reality, your story is woven into something far larger, and the challenges you face are not isolated but part of a greater unfolding purpose. Even when you cannot see it, even when the road is unclear, the tapestry of your life is being carefully and deliberately crafted. Imagine a great symphony, with each instrument playing its part. The violin's high-pitched notes, the deep, resonant hum of the cello, the bright trumpet calls, each one seems distinct and separate. Yet when played together, they create something far beyond what any one instrument could produce on its own. Your life is no different. You may not yet understand how your pain, your dreams, and your struggles fit together, but they are all. So, my friends, when you find yourself in the depths of uncertainty, when hope seems to slip through your fingers like sand, remember this: you are part of a much grander story, a story still unfolding in ways you cannot yet see. The road you are walking, though it may be steep and fraught with challenges, is leading somewhere extraordinary. You may not understand the twists and turns, the delays and setbacks, but trust that they are all part of a plan that is more beautiful, more purposeful, and more profound than anything you could have imagined. In your moments of struggle, hold fast to the knowledge that you are not alone. You are seen, you are loved, and you are being prepared for something far greater than the disappointments you face today. The silence you endure is not a sign of abandonment, but an invitation to trust more deeply, to lean not on your understanding, but on a greater truth that is being revealed with each passing moment. The surprises that await you are not small, they are not insignificant. They are blessings crafted with care and intention, waiting for the perfect moment to unfold. When they come, you will see that every step, every tear, every moment of waiting was not in vain, but a necessary part of the beautiful narrative being written just for you. So do not lose heart. Hold on to your hope, for the story is far from over, and what awaits you is beyond your wildest dreams. The best is yet to come.